in 1 Samuel 3 verses 19. And Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him, and did not let none of his words fall to the ground. This generation is aflame with the prophetic grace, so awakening that the accuracy of the prophecies by Apostle Dr. Elijah Kofi King hits you like a blinding light, seeing through every secretive, mysterious, and all sorts of unclarities. Let the prophecies of Apostle Dr. Elijah Kofi King awaken you to this reality. This is Prophecy Confirmation from the Chronicles of Prophecy.
That says the Lord. There will be a new computer virus and an attack on the banking system, and people's credit card will be affected.
In the latest, Canada's biggest telecom operator, Rogers Telecommunication, faced a major network outage. The disruption drew outrage from customers, banking and other sectors who were very badly affected.
As holy men were led by the Spirit, so they prophesied. Even in our time, God is still speaking through his global icon, Apostle Dr. Elijah Kofi King. This was by the decrees of the global prophet, Apostle Dr. Elijah Kofi King, on the 3rd of July, 2022. During a Sunday service, he was led by the Spirit to reveal deeper mysteries and prophetically warn the nations of the world today about the mind of God and the impending dangers that are yet to come in the year 2022 and beyond. These were his words.
I saw an attack on computers. I saw an attack on computers and the banking system, which is going to affect some countries, if not the whole world. And people who have access to credit card and certain privileges with banking cards will seriously be affected. It is coming. Why it is coming, I'm not going to go into it, but it is coming. Something is going to happen that will affect computers and affect the banking systems of the world, and it will affect especially those who are using credit card in certain parts of the world. Praise the name of the Lord.
In the latest, Canada's biggest telecom operator, Rogers Telecommunication, faced a major network outage. The disruption drew outrage from customers, banking and other sectors who were very badly affected. Our next report gets you the details.
Indeed, God is still speaking in our generation, as we have experienced on countless occasions how the servant of God, Apostle Dr. Elijah Kofi King, keeps revealing the mind of God concerning the global world with confirmations over and over again.
In 2024, the world is going to witness heavy amount of cyber attacks and spyware release. Some of these world's banking system will be affected as a result of these cyber attacks. If my memory serves me right, either 2 years ago or last year, by the help of the Spirit of God, I had spoken and given similar prophecy, and it was like a joke, but it came to pass. The banking system in Canada, in America, I think in China as well, Asia as well, were heavily affected, and they did not know what had happened to them, what had hit them. This time, again, I am seeing a cyber attack in America, not only America.
Dr. Elijah Kofi King is worth hearing.
But we begin with that massive Microsoft technology outage. Cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike says it identified a critical problem in its software and is working to fix the issue. Around the world, computer users were greeted with an error screen that some people have referred to as the Windows blue screen of death. The outage affected government entities and news organizations, as well as almost every industry across the globe, including banks, airports, healthcare providers, and retailers. According to FlightAware.com, an online flight tracking website, more than 27,000 flights were delayed globally.
Now let's talk about today's cyber incident. It was one of the biggest cyber outages to have ever taken place. Systems went down across the world. It started last evening at about 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. That's when the chaos began. In airports, banks, hospitals, news studios, and even in Disneyland Paris, people in all these places saw something ominous.
All of the computer monitors were essentially shut down, blue screen of death.
Microsoft's infamous blue screen of death. Almost everyone saw it today. Airports around the world faced issues. They could not update flight details, check in passengers, or even print boarding passes. Some of them, like Delhi Airport, opted for a manual approach. They started issuing handwritten boarding passes. Others cancelled flights. There were over 1,000 cancellations in the US. American Airlines, Delta Airlines, United Airlines all halted flights. The Dutch airline KLM suspended most of its operations. Berlin Airport halted all flights. Air traffic in Switzerland was cut by 30%. Every corner of the world was affected. And again, it wasn't just air travel. Supermarkets in Australia were shut because their checkout counters weren't working. In Paris, the organizers of the Olympics were facing issues. They had to conduct manual security checks because their accreditation desk was down. So you can see how widespread this problem was. But how did it happen? What led to the cyber outage that affected every corner of the globe? Well, here's the smoking gun. Listen to this.
Thank you for contacting CrowdStrike support. CrowdStrike is aware of reports of crashes on Windows hosts related to the Falcon sensor. Please monitor the status via the check alert on our customer support portal.
The global cyber outages that have caused delays and issues at European airports affecting travel, the media, and the London Stock Exchange website, among other things. And it seems likely that list is growing by the minute. Nigel Fair is a professor of cybersecurity at Monash University, and he joins us from Canberra in Australia. Sir, first of all, what do you make of all this, that this is taking on such a global dimension? I know Australia is pretty affected as well.
Absolutely. Australia's been heavily affected by that, and it's just coming to the close of our day on Friday. And a lot of organisations have not been able to function. We're talking our big major banks, our airports, airliners, all across the whole critical infrastructure sector has been affected. Either no internet connectivity or very limited availability.
Dr. Elijah Kofi King is worth hearing.